Session 3 of God with us. Sometimes we feel like we're in a valley. We can't see what's ahead, and the sides of the valley seem to be blocking out the sun. It can be we've just received the news of the death of a loved one, or news of a bad diagnosis of our health, or we've just gone into depression. We want to get out of the valley, but we can't seem to climb out. Where's God in the valley? Psalm 23 answers this. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and staff, they comfort me. God's in the valley with us, and it's often here that we will learn more of what God is like. We will grow closer to him. The story of David and Goliath is a picture of this. Two armies were camped on the hilltops either side of a valley. Day after day, Goliath would go down into the valley and he'd challenge the Israelites to send someone down to fight him. But the Israelites were terrified of this man and no one would go down into the valley. So the war was at a standstill. They used to line up every day and nothing would happen. It was when young David came to the camp and heard Goliath taunting the Israelites that he went down into the valley where the fight took place. David went down with confidence because he knew that God was with him. He defeated Goliath, and so the battle was finally won. It's often in the valley of life that we win a victory. If we stand on the hill looking down but never going down, then we can be at a standstill. The thing about a valley is it's a passage that leads to somewhere. Valleys are places we go through on our way to get somewhere. Psalm 84, David speaks of his desire to be with God and to dwell in his temple. And in verse 5 he says, "Blessed are those whose strength is in you, whose hearts are set on pilgrimage." Now, pilgrimage is a journey. It's a picture of a journey. But his journey is towards God. Verse 7, "Till each appears before you in Zion." Now, on his journey, he mentions that these pilgrims passing through the valley of Baca. Apparently the Baca tree was a tree that used to weep its sap. And so it had the name of a weeping tree. And the particular valley became known as the Valley of Tears because of it. Thus the picture is of seeking to be in the presence of God, but walking through a valley of tears. But in that valley it says, they go from strength to strength till each appears before you in Zion. And he's already said, blessed are those whose strength is in you. When we're walking through the valley of despair or grief or whatever it is, if we trust in God, we will grow in relationship with him, in understanding of his goodness. He's there to take the weight of the heavy times. Now I have a little bit of a picture from the gym when I used to go and have a personal trainer. She'd say, we're going to lift this bar and we're going to do 15 repeats. So the first 10, by the time we got to 10, the bar seemed to be twice as heavy. And sometimes she would just put her finger under the bar and it was like the bar was only half the weight. And she always said, no, I'm not taking any weight, I'm just touching the bar. I don't know how that worked, but I can tell you that that bar became only half the weight and I could complete the 15. And that's what it's like with God. When it gets too heavy for us, he's there, and his touch can make it much, much lighter so that we can still do the lifting, but it's much easier. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me.
I have a maker before my heart, before even time began, my life was in his hand. He knows my name. He knows my every thought. He sees each tear that falls, and hears me when I'm gone. I have a Father He calls me his own. He'll never leave me, no matter where I go. He knows my name. He knows my every thought. He sees each tear that falls and hears me when I'm gone. Turn your eyes upon Jesus. Look full in his wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely in the light of his glory.